Why is Jacob so bad? Why did God create mistakes, as in people that did wrong, like Jacob? Now, the only other examples really go right back to the beginning, Adam and Eve, uh, and Cain and Abel, where Cain was the bad guy, and much worse than Jacob. Jacob was selfish. Cain made it his brother, and Adam and Eve sinned. And the whole thing is this big question about Jacob where we're at now is why would God choose the leader of Israel to be a selfish guy? And you see the positive side to him, yes, but it's not enough. Yes, he's determined. Yes, he believes in God, and listens to God and tries to obey God, but he's a selfish person. And the good thing is that his character is committed to God. He's got commitment, which is loyalty. But he's a selfish guy. So God seems to have blessed Cain, even though God cursed Cain. He blessed Cain's descendants with practical skills, whereas Abel was killed, even though Abel was that I suppose was, you see, both Cain and Abel were good people. They were just very innocent, normal people until Cain, Cain became a murderer and he murdered his brother. Before that, they were both innocent, and before Adam and Eve sinned, they were both innocent. But the thing is, why did Adam and Eve sin? Is because the devil was allowed into the world, and the devil was allowed into the world by God. So we have to say, God, why did you allow? First, when we're down in the dumps, when I'm down in the dumps, I say, God, why did you create me? It's so rubbish, this life, when we sin. And then I think, God, why have you allowed the devil into the world? That's so unfair. The devil that tempted Adam and Eve to sin and made them feel so rubbish, like we do when we sin. When things go wrong, God makes us feel rubbish, and you could say it's God's fault for allowing the devil into the world. Well, the reason God allowed the devil into the world to make us go wrong. And so God makes us go wrong, so we learn what's right and wrong. What's like these curtains are wavy, and what is the difference between a wavy curtain and a straight curtain? It goes right back down to the beginnings of life on earth. The creation is just before Adam and Eve are created, and then when Adam and Eve are created, then they're learning about what's right and wrong. It's that simple. And so when the innocent Abel and the innocent Cain, so Abel is always innocent after the story, but he's killed. But by coincidence, when God asks them to give something to him, to God, and God is a human on earth walking around with them at the time, like an angel. When God asks Adam and Eve to give, Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve's two sons, to give a gift to God, Cain and Abel both gave a gift to God in reply of thanks. Thanks, just that God is such a nice chap, like I'm like me and other people on YouTube try to be, to attract viewers to learn something good. So Cain and Abel gave a gift, both of them, but Cain happened to not put very much effort in. He just gave a normal gift. He didn't put loads of effort in. He just didn't put a little bit of effort in. He just gave a normal gift, and Abel put loads of effort in and gave the best gift he could. So, like, say if you ask for, anyway, you get the message. But basically, this was so important because God is so important. Cain was said by God, "You're not that great, Cain. Abel is much better than you." And that because it was so important, Cain became extremely jealous, sort of possessed. The devil went in within him. The spirit of evil went within him, and he killed his brother. So why didn't God? So that's why God didn't do anything worse to Cain than. Well, he says that God would have killed Cain, but God wanted Cain to feel even worse than being killed. But God then blessed his descendants. So it's sort of not Cain's in the bigger. It's Cain's fault in the immediate, in the present, in the actual act that he did. It's Cain's fault, but it's not Cain's fault in the biggest perspective of God's perspective. Now, God is always greater than us. We are small gods on the earth, like we are, like Cain and Abel were able to make their own decisions. That's a small god, more than an animal like a cow or they're able to make much smaller decisions than us. You wouldn't call them a small god. You would call us small gods, human beings, but God is far greater than that. And Jesus, as a small God like us, as a human being, is within God, the great God. And that's why we call Jesus God, because he came as a miracle from God to teach us what is right and what is wrong from a very clear perspective. But we don't have that perspective with the people in the Old Testament. We have a story that was given to all of us to learn about different types of examples. But what I believe, what I'm trying to say, what I believe is the reason why God chose Jacob as sort of some good bits and bad bits to him. He was bad that he was selfish, but he was good that he was committed, loyal. That's it's the same reason why he chose Cain, not only Abel, an innocent man, but Cain, a murderer, because God uses both innocent people and people who do wrong, and he will bless innocent people, and he will, condemn people who do wrong, but both will be enabled to keep going and will have a different type of blessing in the future. So don't give up hope. God will bless you in the end, and me, even though you and I have done wrong. And God will also bless as a hero those who are innocent and are harmed by this world. So don't give up hope if you're innocent as well. Keep going and do not worry. You are there as a hero to teach others if you are innocent. And you'll not necessarily be harmed, either of you, but you'll not necessarily be blessed unless you keep praying and keep resiliently trying and trying. And St. Paul says, a very strong man at the end of the Bible, St. Paul says, keep running the race like the world, your life in the world is a race. So keep going. So that's my understanding of why Jacob was chosen as a mixed character. Thank you very much. Good night.